Hey, hey, hey.
Good morning and welcome to the Better Together Group podcast called WTF Talks.work. This is Hannah and I'm Dave.
Yeah,
How do you like our new intro?
that's really weird to me. I really don't like that. That feels
That's
so
so not us.
unnatural. That's
It's
not
not.
it. That's not it. I do have though, and I would love to get your opinion on them. Are three jingle options. And
Okay,
it could
great.
be
Let's go.
fun to hear it with the listeners. I just
Let's
got our
go.
last one this morning and it's pretty good. It might be my favorite. You hear it? Are
Get it closer to your mic. Noise cancel that.
hold on. Where is no my
Click on
microphone?
speaker and then noise suppression and release the noise suppression.
Oh. Oh, Dave teaching me new tricks. That's cool. Can you hear it?
Welcome to WTF Talks with Dave and Hannah. Today we're going to talk about interviewing skills.
Right?
Let's get started.
And there's this option.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for joining Dave and Hannah on WTFTalks.work. Today we're going to talk about interviewing skills.
Or right?
Hey, thanks for joining us. Today you're sitting with Dave and Hannah on WTFTalks.work. We're going to talk about interviewing skills. Let's go.
Right? They're all
Okay,
good.
I'm partial to 1 and 3, but hey, if you're listening and paying attention and willing to give us your feedback, those are three different completely things. But if you give us your input on that, we'd love to hear from you. Honestly, it's fun to hear that other people care and have comments.
Yeah, so shout out to Fola, our intern, who is doing some podcast music production for us. Not something he signed up for, but was so excited to hear that was going to be on the docket. So that was awesome,
cool.
but so great. Those are original sounds that were created just for us. So fun.
Love
Not
it.
just grabbing them. I think the 3 is the winner because that one's unique. That one's the one that you were like, mix a bunch of stuff together and give me a little bit of a bunch of genres. And he was like, I don't know how, okay. And then
He didn't even know
it's
what
so
genres I
good.
was talking about. I was throwing out artists that to me are like commonly known, and he was
Yeah.
like, "Who? What?
Like, huh? What are we doing? It's like, sorry.
So
Sorry,
funny.
I'm
How do
20
you,
years old. I don't understand that person.
yeah, how do you know you're old?
Ugh.
So you know how you know you're old, Hannah? Today I don't think I was signing up for a flight or something, and I had to put my date of birth in, and it took multiple scrolls, like 3 scrolls. They just like fling it to get back to 1970, my birth year. Yeah, that was one of the ways you know you're old is when it takes like more than 2 flicks to get to the
I've
year.
I recently started having to scroll a little bit more, and it's a little bit jarring because I'm like, wait a dang second. I was right there for the longest time. What happened?
Right.
What do you mean? What do you
Right.
mean it's 2000 and like what? Anyways, we'll move on from that.
It's the end of January in 2026. We are almost 1
Ugh.
down, 11 to go. So, yeah, how do you
No,
like them apples?
that's insane. And it's like, don't get me wrong, it's been a fabulous month, like one of the most insane months ever for a January kickoff. But what do you mean it's about to be? Like, it'll be summer before we know it. We'll blink and it'll be Christmas again, and then we'll be having the same conversation about next year. Like, time is
Right?
just keeps getting
So
faster,
fast.
faster and slower at the same time. But
So yeah,
anywho,
February 1st is this Sunday. That's your brother's birthday, and always a marker for me that it's on. Like the year is already on.
yeah,
So
on like Donkey Kong.
That's
My
right. That's
goodness.
right.
But speaking of
Right.
it being on, you're looking for some new people. You're looking for an admin person you're trying to hire. And that's what we were talking about when we were like, oh, we should hop on the podcast and talk about it. Cause you were like, Hannah, I want you to interview her. And I was like, great. What do you want to know about them? Like,
I was
what's
like, I don't know. I want to know if she's going to be good or not. Or if they're going to be, I actually have a couple of guys that I'm interviewing too. I shouldn't be so sexist, but I want to know if they're going to be good or not.
yeah. But it's funny because people are like, well, I was having the exact same conversation with one of my friends this weekend who is for the very first time interviewing someone and she's really excited. She's like, I've never been a manager before. I get to be a part of this process. I'm like, heck yeah, girl. Hold on, it's a ride. But then she was like, well, but what do I say? Like, what do I ask them? And I was like, you ask them like, well, what do you want to know about them? Like it's and I just think it's not that complicated. I'm like you know the job that you're hiring for them. You know the people around them. You tell them about the job and then you ask them questions that helps you understand whether or not they'll be good at it.
Right. But the
Like
interesting thing was
it
what the
seems
interesting
so simple.
the interesting thing was what she said to you. We haven't used her name, correct?
No, and let's not.
Great. So we're not throwing anybody under the bus here. Is all I'm trying to protect. Um, she was like, but aren't I supposed to try and sell them on the company and tell them how great
Right.
this job's going to be?
Right. And I was like,
And
no, 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 no. You had that wrong perspective because so many people go into the hiring job and they're like, I want to hire someone immediately. And this is kind of the same conversation we were having as well. It's like, I want to hire the closest person, get them in the seat, get them working right away. And I'm like,
right.
I respect that perspective. And every once in a while, that is the right choice. But most
But no.
often, yeah, but most often you want to hire someone that's going to be there so you don't have to hire someone else again in like 6 weeks or 10 weeks or a year. And so it's like you want to be as transparent as you can about the reality of the role and the people that are in it and the humans that you're working alongside. Because I said to her, I was like, you're going to be with this person more than your husband, more than your dogs, more than any human that you're currently with the most, because you're going to like, you've never had this close of a working relationship before. And I was like, so choose somebody that A, wants to be there, and B, you'll be excited to be with every single day. I was like you need to have
Fit.
it in mind. Like that it's not about today and tomorrow. It's about like how are they in 2 years when you want to be off on vacation for 3 weeks and like do you trust them at that point? And like think about like it's such a long hiring is such a long game and people have such a short perspective on it. And it's so easy in the moment because it's like, I need help now. And it's like, yes, you need help now, but like, dang, you'll be pissed at yourself. And it's all just being kind to your future self, which we talk about all the time. It's not
Right.
not
Well,
easy,
I
but
don't
it's
think we've talked
important.
about being kind to your future self in a while, but yeah, that's definitely you want to hire somebody that can fill your gaps. You don't want to hire somebody who replicates you.
Hmm.
You don't want to hire somebody who thinks it's one thing when it's something else. Like that's just there's no integrity to that from the hiring side. And you're
Yeah.
wanting them to be truthful with you. And if you're blowing smoke up
Anything.
at them,
Yeah.
at them, then like that's
Look
just
at
not
you
fair.
learning. I'm so
Look at me.
impressed.
See
Couple
me
years.
catching my words, correcting
Yeah.
myself, and becoming a
Well,
better human.
and
Um,
what I said to her was, I was like, there is two very simple questions that you can ask. What have you loved about your jobs in the past? And what have you hated about your jobs in the past? Because I know a lot of people ask, well, what are you really good at? And what are you not great at? And it's like, no, that's a hard answer in an interview because you're still trying to position yourself well, of course. But it's like, no, like, just be honest. Like, everyone has stuff that they don't like about their job. We all go to get paid every day. We are going to do stuff that's not fun. So, like, what do you hate and what do you love? And some people are going to love the stuff that you hate, and that's amazing. You just got to find those people, and then you find a good balance. But you're so right, don't find an exact replication of yourself because then you're both going to be pissed about the work that's got to be done in the end. Like you need
right.
the full puzzle piece. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's it goes back to that Mad Men episode where Don Draper is talking to his um, assistant, and um, he's taken one of her ideas and developed it into an ad campaign for a company, and um, he gets like an industry award for it. It's so good.
Hmm.
And then the Monday after he gets the award, she's like, "But I didn't get any credit." And it's like, "Well, you brought a kernel corn to a feast, and I took your kernel and I built something out of it, and it's yeah, you like I should appreciate that you did that." Um, but that there's so much more that gets added onto it that you're not really a part of. And like, how do you, um, and he says to her, well, like, she's like, well, why don't you ever say thank you? And he's like, well, that's what the money's for. And sometimes when I'm talking to people in an interview, sorry, that's a long story for a simple point.
It's okay.
Um, you sometimes I ask people, well, like, what do I have to pay you to do? And what do you do because you love it? Like, what's the part of this that you do naturally, that you do it whether or not you're at work, that you're helping people naturally in your life, that you want to help people find jobs just because you know them and you're generous, not because you're trying to make money off their backs. Um, and then what parts of it are like draining for you, and like when you're sitting there doing it, you have to think about your paycheck to get there. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? Is that the
No.
same as your
But
love it and hate it part? Or is it, or did I take that in a weird direction?
no, I think you took it in a funny direction, or perhaps I'm just not grasping the whole point. But it definitely did just distract me a little bit into a situation where I feel like I've been in that exact same situation. And like the context was I was a marketing person for a camp and did pretty freaking great at it. And that person won an award for the marketing done for the camp. And then they didn't tell me about it and they didn't invite me and they didn't say thank you. And it was like in the moment, I was like, I mean, you didn't touch the social medias all year and you in fact were not at camp more than twice. So like I would have liked to thank you in that moment. And my brain went back to, well, yes, you paid me for what I've done. I went above and beyond and won you an award. So just a simple thank you would be really nice because there is that like it's a disproportionate level of what was originally expected. And I've been a manager and saying thank you to your people is not that freaking hard. So, but but there are so many things. I say that with so much grace on the other side of there are so many things that are done that you just don't understand how hard that was for that person to do. And so you don't know to say thank you. And so like I have grace for it and like was paid very well in that job. And so have no like, and then I also walked out the other side and was like, hey, I can put this on my resume moving forward if I want to. So like it levels itself out. But
Yeah,
like if you're like if you can say thank you, you know? Like it's
there's no excuse for not being grateful to people and thoughtful and kind. You need to be kind to the people that work for you, the people that work with you, the people that you work with.
yeah.
And a thank you seems to be like a pretty low bar to cross. And on the other side of it, if you um, if you change the toilet paper in the bathroom because you emptied the roll, you don't deserve a thank you for that.
Yes.
Is that fair?
No, that's
Like,
fair. That's fair.
that's just
I think
common
yeah,
courtesy. Like, just
it comes back to like expectations versus going above and beyond. And then like in a place where you go above and beyond, if you don't feel appreciated, you stop going above and beyond because like it doesn't matter. Because you're like, well, like that's just but that's just the reality of how like cultures are created in companies and just something to be, I mean, mindful of. But again, I say that with like the other foot in mind positive that there are humans that have done fabulous stuff for me that I just didn't know to say thank you for. So it's, yeah.
So
Anyways, but that
let's
is
get a little.
super far from the main point of how you're hiring and
So yeah,
hiring
that's what I was going to say.
people.
Let's get a little more tactical about how to hire people and how to, as my friend Kim Richardson would say, let's make it stink. Like let's take this idea and
Hmm.
make it a bad idea and figure out how to fix it or what could be the roadblocks. And I think that it's reasonable to have those conversations when you're interviewing people. Is like here's some things that are going to be a rub.
Hmm.
Okay. So do you want to role play?
We can. Yeah. I mean, not
Okay.
necessarily. That makes me a little uncomfy, but yeah, we can
Well, do you want to interview me?
Sure.
Do you want to interview me for the role of my admin person?
Sure.
Okay. So, because you've been doing this a little bit lately, we've been interviewing some candidates, and so you've had these conversations recently.
Yeah.
And I haven't been interviewed in a while, and I like to talk.
Mhm.
So
Okay, great.
let's
You can
let's
cor-
show.
you can correct me as we go though, so I don't get to the end and go, "Was that a shit show?" I'd rather
Sure.
I'd rather you if there's something that you want me to ask, just tag
Yeah.
me in and I'll keep it rolling. But yeah,
Right.
yeah, we can do that.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well,
So,
Dave, thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate it. I in the midst of this crazy storm, my goodness, have you guys been okay? Have you had any power issues? What's been like over there? Let's
no,
pretend
we've
you're in
been
Canada because most of the
we
people I've been interviewing for you have been in Canada.
deep snowstorm in Canada right now. Hey, thanks for asking. No, we've been pretty good. And when you work from home, a snow day is just a day.
Yeah.
So here I am at my desk doing my thing.
Yeah, the best. I feel like I really like those. Like it was really rainy here this morning, and I like just like the Monday morning hunker down, like at my desk. Like so good. So,
Okay.
Dave, I will be so honest with you. I really apologize. I did not have a chance to read your resume before you hopped in today. I was back to back in meetings. So, help catch me up. Help me understand a little bit about what you've been doing recently. Where have you been? What have you been up to?
Sure. I've always enjoyed admin work. I'm really a kind of behind the scenes person. I don't like to be out in front. So like my last role, I was working um, at a government office where I was the executive assistant to a director in the healthcare department. And
Okay.
so, I worked at Ontario Health, and uh, I reported to and was the executive assistant for the director of procurement. So just trying to making sure that the contracts were such and so, and making sure that my director was at all the meetings that they needed to attend, and all their travel plans were set up for them.
Okay, nice. How long were you there for?
I was there for just a year. It was a maternity leave coverage.
Okay, I understand. And so they're just on their way back now, or are they already back? Are you still working?
They're back, and I've transitioned back into my previous role, but it's just not enough hours for me, and so I'm looking for something more.
Okay, got it. What were you doing before? What are you up to right now?
I'm kind of in a customer service role.
Okay, interesting. Doing a little bit of what?
Just kind of helping schedule people to go to work, and helping clients find the right worker to be matched with. It's kind of a matchmaking between old age homes and nurses that are available to take shifts.
Oh, very cool. Very nice. I love our nurses. I have such a great respect for them and what they do, and no idea how they do it. It's so impressive. So
Changing old people's butts isn't for everyone.
no, it is not. bless bless their hearts. So is it just kind of you're not enough hours? Is there anything that you're kind of missing from that role that you were doing previously that you're like, oh, that was really fun? Or is it just you need additional hours? Help me understand why you're looking for new work, maybe wouldn't stay in there
Sure,
somewhere.
sure, sure. I think that so the customer service role is kind of a really high stress role. Like if you can't find a um, if you can't find the person to take the shift, it's like a crisis. And so I don't
Mm,
like the tension of that all the time. If there's not somebody there to change their diaper, it's a problem because you can't
yeah.
leave people like that. And so that the tension of that is hard for me. And then
Hmm.
just like I'm only getting kind of 3 shifts a week, and those shifts get pushed around, which isn't great for my family life.
Sure, that makes sense. Is it the uncompleted task at hand that kind of stresses you out from that situation, or is it more knowing the end result of the person who needs care on the other side? Which
It's really the care on the other side of it. Like
okay.
I like to check the boxes. I'm admin, so I really like when things get done and I can cross them off. But and this people like we're talking about quality of life for people, and
Mhm.
I don't like to think of myself as failing
Yeah.
at fulfilling and taking care of their quality of life. It's
Yeah,
emotional.
certainly. Certainly. Well, in this role, there's still the kind of placement of different people. There's still the high stress of this job needs to be filled by the afternoon, but we're not working in healthcare. And so it's not tied to humans. How do you feel like you'll deal with that? Do you think that that'll kind of ease the stress around that because it's more about the truck being delivered, which still has important products in it? I don't want to diminish the importance of what they do, but just understand the difference between the two.
Yeah, I think that I would enjoy that. I think that
Okay.
like that would calm at least a portion of my anxiety around it. And anxiety might be too strong of a word, but you know, um, it would solve some of my concern.
Okay, great. Tell me a little bit about some of the best stuff that you've loved doing in both of these roles, either or, and some of the stuff that you've been like, not my favorite. Can't wait until this is done. Because obviously there will be both. It'll go both ways.
Sure. So I really like getting things done. To me, a line through a to-do item is a victory every time. And so,
Preaching to
um,
the
I,
choir.
but I want those things to have purpose. I want them to have meaning, but the completion of that is really important to me. And so from the admin side, I really am excited about the opportunity to help somebody. Um, from your ad, it seems like that's not necessarily their strength. And so to
Yeah.
partner with someone and to really support them that way would be meaningful.
Okay, nice. And what about the other side of it? What have you really disliked doing in the past? What's kind of been your can't wait until it's over tasks?
I don't mind some data entry and some database work, but like a whole day of it or a whole week of it is a lot. I need some interaction with people and some projects, sometimes those projects can go on for eternity and it's
Hmm.
just a balancing act. Because you don't
Okay,
get to check many boxes that way. Like if you're in this great big data set,
cool.
um,
Yeah,
yeah.
without a doubt. Nice. Well, tell me a little bit about the people that you've worked with as the executive assistant. You mentioned that you were doing some travel documentation, like managing some of the documents. What was it like working with that person? What were they like?
Um, they were almost military in the way that like just like always clean and put away. And so
Okay.
they're very organized and very clear about their expectations. And
Okay.
I like that. That was good for me.
Okay.
Because it just made things certain.
Okay.
Um, and um, I like that I knew that they were having a significant impact when they were at those events that I was setting up for them. And so I felt like I was having an impact because I was enabling them.
Sure. Something's going on with your sound. I'm not sure if you're leaning on your microphone or just getting a little far from it, but it's cutting out just a little bit. But
Sorry,
sorry, say that
nothing
one more time.
changed, but I'll try and bring it closer to me.
Nope, that's
Um,
perfect. I can hear it again. Just say that last sentence one more time.
yeah, I like feeling like I could see the impact that they were having for the organization by going to the events. And so
Mhm.
I knew that my setting them up to be able to attend was also having an outcome for the company.
Nice. How did you feel kind of being you were never in those situations. You never attended any of the events. You were
No,
always just setting it up.
no,
How would you feel
no.
about doing something like that? Would you wanna be in them? Like, kind of that, like, split
Oh,
of data entry, also customer facing. You evidently can be customer facing, but you're perhaps not
yeah,
in that way before.
I haven't done a lot of that, but I'm not opposed to it. Like I like people. I like um having people into my home. I like going out and hanging out with people. And so that would take some learning for me, but I think that it's nothing I can't do.
Nice. Well, we like to include lots of different people in lots of different ways. So we always like to know if people can join along in different in person events, just understanding this is evidently virtual. But okay, well, I want to warn you a little bit. The person
Okay.
that we're talking about having you be an assistant to is, let's call it the opposite of military. And so this person has lots going on, very, very busy, consistently on the move. And their favorite saying is that they like to pile 100 pounds of shit in about a 50-pound bag. And so if you can picture that human, that'll be the person that you're working with. And so the expectations are high. He will certainly have good expectations for you and can really help you create those goals and those task lists, but is a lot harder to nail down and will need a lot of help with that organizational structure. How do you feel about something like that, being understanding it's so different from what you've experienced in the past?
Well, it sounds like a challenge, and I'm not afraid of a challenge. Um, and I've worked with people, you know, um, I've worked with people before that are a little bit scattered, and I've got I've got some kids that are all over the place, and I don't mean to say that this person's a child, but I think I
Yeah,
have
but it
some
can be like,
I have some transferable skills that might be able to help.
okay, good, good. I know that that is just not everybody's kind of work dynamic. Not everyone will do well with something that's not quite as such and so. So if that's what you're used to, I just want to be very transparent about the kind of
Sure.
relationship you'll have with them. But they're great at setting the expectations as long as you're asking for them and really helping set those meetings up and move them forward. So I think that'll be great. Is there any questions that you have for me at this moment in time?
Is there anybody else related to the role that I need to know or understand who did it before and why were they good or why weren't they good?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you?
Let's
How
call
many
it
different
there.
reasons do you want me to
We're
be there? I was pretty
yeah, we
transparent about the girl who asked that exact conversation a while ago, but I don't necessarily want to air all of our past executive assistants' laundry out on the line. So
oh,
let's.
and certainly not.
I was,
And we've
but
we've
I was
we've had
very
some
transparent with this other person when she actually asked that question. I was like, let me give you all of the details of exactly what happened with every person, why they did what they did. But
and laundry's not
not the
necessarily a
right
bad thing.
term.
We've well, no, we've had great people work for us, and we've had people that struggled in the role, and they self-selected out, and other people that were with us for quite some time, and they loved it, and we loved it, and that's the way hiring goes. Is in the end, you're giving someone an opportunity to do something with you, and it's not a guarantee. There's
Yeah.
always risk, and you have to be prepared to take the risk to hire someone, and then you have to give people room to love it or leave it.
Okay. So critique me. I would have let that go on a lot longer in conversation if it was a real interview, but I don't want to waste everybody else's
Of
time. Is there
course.
anything that you specifically are like, you missed X, you should have asked Z?
No, I think the only thing would be, as we had talked in the preamble to the role play, was, there's a couple of players here that you need to understand and know. And, in our situation, it's like, yeah, you're the executive assistant to Dave McDonald, but this is a family business. And so you may end up booking flights for Brian or Hannah or Bradley or Rhonda, and that needs to be okay with you.
Oh, if we could bring that back.
Right?
If we if we could bring that back, that would
Oh,
be
my kingdom for an admin.
the best. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I hadn't even really been thinking about that. Oh, what a
Yeah.
joy. What a joy that was, because goodness knows I hate asking Brian to do that. Like Brian's been that person for a little while, and like asking him to like help me book a flight. I'm like, no, I can't do that. Like that's not nice.
Right. Yeah. Well,
But
I
it's
spent
so different. Sorry,
the
go ahead.
challenge for me is I spent 30 minutes this morning looking at flights and I didn't execute it. Like I didn't pull the trigger. And so that's the biggest problem is I'm trying to plan things out and then I don't always finish. I don't always F the WTF and finish the job. And that's where it gets really frustrating.
Sir,
That's a me issue.
that I got nothing for you. I
Be smarter,
well,
Dave.
the only thing that I'm thinking is just like not that we're super office appropriate here, but I'm like the only thing going through my mind is like, bro, like just figure it out. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like
Get the finger on the trigger and pull. Which is not what most people think of me. I'm always trying to save an extra $10. And it'll cost me an hour of time to save the extra $10. And that's
yeah,
my biggest problem in life.
goes back and forth.
So
It goes back
if
and
that's
forth.
my
But
biggest problem, life's
you're
pretty good.
doing right. All right. Well, the people should let me know what questions I missed in the comments below. What should I have asked Dave about being Dave's personal executive assistant? And if you know someone for the role, that would be perfect. Let us know, because we are on the hunt for the right human. That being said, is there anything else that you would like to discuss today?
Hire slow, create expectations, agree to the expectations up front in writing. And take a shot. Like find
Yeah.
someone that you think is a fit and take the shot. Don't be like me in the plane this morning and the flights I was trying to book. Actually pull the trigger. And it's the not pulling the trigger. So hiring slow and pulling the trigger is obviously at opposite ends of the same
Well,
problem.
no. It's hire slow, but perfection paralyzes the process of progress, which it always does and always comes back to. Like hire slow, be diligent, be intentional, be intense, be integrity filled about the way that you're doing it, use all of those things, but then like just friggin' do it when you have to do it. Like you can't expect to find
Right.
the perfect plane that doesn't exist. Like just
Yeah.
pull the trigger.
So
But
I expect that by the end of Friday this week, we will have extended an offer to someone to be my executive assistant.
unless we just don't find the right one, in which case that is fine too, and we can keep looking because we're good at that. Um, that being said,
Thanks you much for hanging out. And this is WTF Talks .work with Dave McDonald and Hannah McDonald. Welcome to our show.
my name is Hannah Daniker, but it's fine. I'll let that go.
Oh, right. Sorry. I forget that. Hannah
No, it's
Daniker.
okay. I'm always Hannah McDonald for you. But I recently changed my driver's license, which is kind of crazy. I'm like, that's insane. Like that, like, I don't know. Like somehow.
You're going to be able to sign into LinkedIn properly now.
Maybe. Oh, y'all, I've been having significant computer issues recently from it's Facebook. But yeah, that would be great if we could get back into our Facebook accounts because we've been stuck out of them.
Stifling.
So have a fabulous day, everybody. Good luck digging out of the snow, and we'll see you later.